Hello, everybody. Tracy Ackler back with another edition of Roadshow Roundup. I'm joined by most of the Roadshow card squad. We've got the California brothers up top, Justin and Ryan from the California Roadshow coming soon. Bottom left, Cody Krim, Texas Roadshow, Mansfield, Texas. Bottom right, Kevin Kulikowski, New York Roadshow. Trey Huntsman from the Kentucky Roadshow.
Big league.
We understand there was a massive snowstorm that hit Lexington this morning, and he's spun out on the side of the road. So, Trey, Godspeed. Good luck with that.
Thoughts and prayers.
I'm kidding. It's not snowing. It's just snowing so much business that Trey can't break away from the shop.
Don't give him an out. His shop's not open right now. He should be here.
He was on the call that I had with Dubs before this.
Okay, look, I don't know where Trey. He's no-showing.
He no-showed us. He big leagued us.
He definitely was on speaker with Dubs whenever I just talked to him.
I hear he wants to start getting paid per episode now. I don't know what that means. So you might be seeing a lot less of Trey going forward. But anyway, so we episode 26 of the Roadshow Roundup. We kind of bring everything that the Roadshow is doing in one simple, digestible podcast that's really drawing rave reviews from both inside and outside the industry.
At least 5 people have commented that we have a good podcast.
No, there's I think I counted 7. So we're moving up. We're moving up.
Well on our way to double digits, baby.
My cousin's in town, and I asked her if she had heard of the Roadshow Roundup, and she said yes.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Don't act so surprised, right?
I couldn't believe it.
So there's a lot going on in the shops. There's a lot of new releases. This week is stacked with new releases. I know Wednesday this week was pretty huge with Luminance football and Chronicles UFC. There was a Star Wars release maybe coming this week. What all is new in the shops, Cody and Kevin?
So Chronicles UFC release yesterday. We had, like you said, Luminance football. I actually sold an entire case of Luminance football yesterday.
Nice.
I've sold about half a case of my Chronicles UFC. And I sold all of that I had of Star Wars, The Mandalorian Chrome. Beskar edition, I believe. That's a whole mouthful, but I believe that's the
say that 3 times fast.
Right. And then actually we have a big release tomorrow, or Friday, or it may be today, depending on when you're listening to this.
Or yesterday.
Optic basketball. Optic basketball.
Oh, yes.
Obviously a big release. So several big days in the shop as far as release week.
That's awesome. That's and as the NFL season draws closer, there's the excitement around both prospecting previous NFL stuff, but also looking ahead to the new stuff that will pick up and ramp up considerably. Kev, how are those products, new products, are moving in your shop so far this week?
Yeah, I mean, we again at the time of recording, it's Thursday morning. We literally got our delivery an hour before close on Wednesday, which kind of stunk, that there wasn't much time to get them out on the shelves. But the first box of Luminance that we sold had a Jamar Chase 1-of-1 insert and a Sauce Gardner red on card auto red ink. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
We still, believe it or not, in our shop, we have our old faithful products that people keep coming back to, and Donruss basketball is one of them, where we have Donruss basketball packed out. It is currently at the moment the most affordable NBA product by the pack. And so the kids here love that. And we actually had somebody hit a Cade Cunningham next day auto, which was awesome. He was so pumped.
Check out the post.
We've had some kids hit some huge cards in the New York and Kentucky shop in the past couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
The De La Cruz, yeah.
But it's been awesome. And then I mean we're almost done with the case of Clearly Authentic now, which was a last week's release. I think that one is funny because while it is at a low price point, it still is gambling at its finest with that, one card in there, and the checklist is extensive. And so
I will say on that, people seem to be able to swallow losing $85 a lot more than, some of these higher end stuff like Panini Black at $6.75.
100%. But our primary, clientele currently is, middle school and high schoolers who $85 is a lot for them, right? Like that's stretching the budget. And so it kind of stunk. The first couple of boxes that were open were, unnumbered rookies of people who I hadn't even heard of. And it's just like, oh, okay. Like, cool. It's still an auto, right? But, we've been pushing through that. Similar to Cody, we have Star Wars currently spoken for, so that's good. And then we skipped one release, which was Champions League. What do you call it?
Stadium Club Chrome.
Stadium Club Chrome.
I didn't skip it for the record. I just went right over it.
Well, it should have been skipped because I bought into a group break of that last night, and the product, a full case, the product was rough. It really.
Yeah, you're trying to twist our arms to hop in.
I know.
Yeah,
well,
Kevin,
you're like, hey, you want to have a bad time tonight with me?
Right. Yeah, I was actually trying to get other people to buy it.
Misery loves company.
Exactly.
Misery loves company.
Hey,
but no, it's the difference from last year to this year. They reduced the number of color. But they went the entire case without an image variation, which is wild.
So I don't mind saying what I think products when companies do a bad job on products. So I apologize to Kevin O'Neill if he's listening, and all of our other friends at Topps.
Chance.
Stadium Club Chrome, not the best product. What actually people have loved that I honestly thought wasn't going to be a great product is Topps Finest Bundesliga and Topps Finest Champions League. Both of those were products that, quite frankly, me and Kevin were really just throwing to the fire when they released, and we're like, no one's going to buy this. And I mean, we have multiple people that come in and rip Finest Bundesliga 2 or 3 boxes a day, it seems like, just because there's so many colored refractors and numbered cards, and
it's cheap.
And it's cheap. It's $100 a box. Like, that's what in my opinion, that's what you build $100 box set, right? Like, yeah, some of the numbered refractors sell for $2, but like, you feel like
it's a fun time.
Right, and like there's potential, right? Like, some of them are rookies that no one's ever heard of, but they're $2. But like, maybe this rookie never does anything, but it's still cool that you have a gold out of 50. Like,
so here's what I'll say. I agree with Cody 100%. I will give Champions League Stadium Club a credit where it's due. The images are just in true Stadium Club fashion. It's amazing, right?
Stadium Club photography is unmatched, in my opinion, in the entire industry.
Right. And soccer took it to the next level this year, where they have Beam Team autos now, which is an awesome throwback. And the Beam Team auto checklist is wonderful. But it's
are those one per case or something?
It's either one per case, autoed or non-autoed. You're not even guaranteed an autoed version. Gotcha. So the break that I was in did hit an auto version. It wasn't the best one, but it was nice. And then I just think it's crazy that, like, it's a 24-pack box, and 15 of the packs were straight base packs on average, which is wild. But
hey, Ryan and we got 5 boxes of Clearly Authentic, and we got a Julio Rodriguez Tech Auto to 50 and a Juan Soto Tech Auto to 50 in back-to-back, which was pretty solid.
Yeah, I was going to ask Justin and Ryan. A lot of people know that while you're waiting for your shop to be finished out, you guys are feverishly ripping live on loop most nights of the week. What's kind of been your most successful rips in the last week or so?
Well, we actually really enjoyed the select. We got select football in, and Loop has been running a bounty on those, where if you pull a card number to 49, they'll give you $49, and then if you pull an XRC, they'll give you 100. Okay. And in the few boxes we've ripped, I think we've already hit like 6 bounties.
Nice.
So that, we pulled we're doing it by the pack or something. So
can you explain the XRC a little bit more? Is it any XRC autos? Like, what's the
any?
deal with that?
Any XRC.
So even if you pull a base XRC, you get $100 credit on Loop.
Correct. So
that's pretty cool.
It was one of those things where the guy's like, yeah, I'll try a pack, and he pulls a Devin White auto, and it's blue. He's like, shoot, Devin White, it's not a rookie, it's this and that. We flip it over, it's to 49, and everyone's like, oh, we got the bounty. So it's like it's been a fun chase like that.
How are they paying that bounty out? Are they paying it to you guys and y'all pay it, or are they paying it to the people that pull it?
Direct to the person that pulls it. So
that's cool.
The customer. We don't get paid extra, but the customer gets it.
You need a finder's fee.
Yeah.
Ryan, dude, hold on, Ryan. What are you doing?
I think he said in the chat that his mic cut and he can't hear anything.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear us, Ryan? Ryan just smiling. What? I mean,
you're muted. There you
look. When this podcast never takes off, I mean, this gives credence to so much of what people think. Oh, the Roadshow Roundup's really cool, but or I would watch or listen every week. But
speaking of that, I would FedEx delivery. Hang on.
I would watch the Roadshow Roundup every week if Jimmy was on it.
Yeah, I want Kevin replaced with Jimmy and watch every week, maybe twice.
Right.
Look, Jimmy's gonna start coming back on with us, and you guys are gonna eat your words. So
I hope so.
I hope Ryan's okay. I really do. I hope Ryan and Justin are okay.
Hey, as a side note, I just got a shipment from sportscards.com. What the heck is that?
Oh, let's see what you got, dude. Let's see what you got.
Jersey Fusion.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I did want to talk about that this week. Justin, you were about to say something, though.
Oh, we started ripping the Jersey Fusion last night.
People did it?
Like personally?
What's that?
Like personally, you and Ryan just started tearing into a case of Jersey Fusion?
Well, no, on Luke. Yeah. For one patch, you're just like, oh, your expectations aren't that high. I mean, I think the standouts, we got a Don Larson patch that was on like a Diamond Kings, but it was like woven into the design of the card to where it wasn't a patch card, but they made it look like one, which was really cool.
I got 80 Jersey Fusion baseball boxes.
Yes.
Nice.
80?
You're winning. Hashtag winning.
And then the coolest one we hit a Joe DiMaggio, which had a cut inscription on it. So it wasn't his autograph, but it was like a handwritten word. It was like, with condolences. And then it was
hey, let's give Jersey Fusion some credit, and I'm actually being serious about this.
No, they do some good stuff.
This is actually really cool. They also
is that laminated?
No, it's in like a sleeve.
It's in a team bag.
Okay.
But it's one of those products where like people are going to come and be like, "Oh, what's that?" But I think this does a pretty good job of like describing like what it is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the thing I really like about Jersey Fusion, they do some things that are collector friendly in terms of exactly what's in there, what the big case hits are, and for anybody who comes into the shops, Jersey Fusion is a new line of products that obviously the California Roadshow has on Loop, and that Kevin and Cody and Trey are going to have in their shops. But it's cool because there's the QC code on the back, a QR code where you scan
what's the QC code?
QR
Quality
code.
control code, bro.
QR code, you scan it, and it takes you to a site that shows that the jersey on your card uncut, authentication for it, when it was worn or when it was acquired. So a lot of cool things that the packaging is really nice for the product. And so I think and it's quite affordable compared to a lot of other stuff on the market. Justin, go ahead.
And they say for their there's like a 10-box case, right? And they'll tell you at least 2 of the 10 are going to have a premium card, and then it lists what the premium cards are. So it's like a logo tag, a button.
So to give you all an example, this is the 10-box case that Justin is referring to. And on the back, it says 2 premium jersey boxes randomly inserted every display case. So it's a 10-box display case. And they include one-on-one logos, tags, buttons, handwriting, cut autos, tribute patches, nameplate patches, and team logo patches.
That's awesome. And what's the price point for our folks listening at home?
And for me, because I don't actually know yet.
So we were charging $49.99.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh man, I think these are gonna fly. Then.
They should do really well. Hopefully, I get my delivery today.
I agree completely, and it's one of those things where and also for people watching and coming to the shop, we're also going to start stocking Hit Parade products, and
I am super excited about these.
I think both of those.
I am just slightly more excited than Cody is.
How much? I can tell you're not excited because I have spent more than I would be willing to share on the Roadshow Roundup on Hit Parade products. Now, some of that's because of my lovely wife, Bailey.
Yeah, she's hooked.
But she is hooked on it. To be fair, I'm also hooked on Hit Parade. Like, I don't know. They're every product I've opened, I have no complaints with any of their products.
Yeah, and I really think between like adding a more diversified inventory selection benefits all of us, and gives people maybe a chance to try some things that they wouldn't ordinarily try, but having that affordable item that, in addition to the $1,000 boxes and $2,000 boxes, to have something that's $50 or $100 is really strong for the brand. So I'm pumped.
So you know what I'll say too, and this is something I don't want to say I didn't realize. I guess if I would have thought about it, it would have made sense. But something I've realized in my shop is that products $1,000 and more are really good sellers, and then products that say $300 or less are really good sellers. It's the products that are in that $300 to $700 range that seem to take the longest for me to sell. Luminance is a perfect example. I think we launched Luminance at $290 a box and sold 12 boxes in 6 hours or whatever yesterday. Same with UFC Chronicles. UFC Chronicles is $190 a box, and I mean it flew. We're not sold out yet, but I mean we've sold 8 boxes or whatever. And those are the products that seem to the jerseys, the Leaf multi-sport jerseys. Those are priced at $140. Like those flew off my shelf. And then it's also hard to keep like the really high-end stuff in, just because like there are specific collectors that only want high-end stuff. But yeah, it seems to be like the call it $300 to $1,000 range that sets the longest. But that's why I'm excited about these. Like I didn't realize they were going to be at a $50 price point.
Yeah, and it's a no-brainer. And one of the guys who works on that product, Daryl McKay, longtime industry veteran who I've had the great fortune of knowing for decades now, kind of knows some of the things to do to market a product that might not be in the mainstream, and he has to compete with obviously the big boys, and the packaging, the posters, the price point, like all those things are in his favor, and the product is cool. So
I would definitely say this seems like a product that would be very interesting to fanatics. Like once they get all their ducks in a row, and maybe something where they license it out and come to some sort of agreement, because the aspect of where you can scan a QC code, as Tracy dubbed it, and it takes you to whatever game or event that they wore that jersey in. Like that's a cool thing, right? Like that was so. Go back a few months, the LeBron triple logo man sold for whatever millions of dollars that it sold for. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest knocks on that. Now, to be fair, I don't know if the knocks were from people that were actually going to be able to spend millions of dollars on this card. But to be fair, I saw it, and one of the knocks was, if they were able to see like what game that these 3 jerseys were played in, and like if these 3 jerseys were all from a season on a different team that he won a finals with, like then that just adds so much more value to that card, right? And it's not really that much more work for Panini, because in many cases Panini on game use stuff knows what game it came from. It's just adding the language and the editorial piece to the back of the card, or just somewhere on the, maybe you scan a QR code and find out exactly where it's from. So
yeah,
I think that's a really cool aspect that no one's doing.
And I think
what Tracy said earlier about the packaging too. I don't know if you can tell, Cody, but it's got like a little sleeve on the bottom that says Jersey Fusion. You pull that off, and then it's like magnetic that holds it in there. And then there's like a little foam pouch that the jersey's in, and it's in its own mag that's like tamper evident So it's like you can't just cut it open and pull the card out. Like I do give them big props on that because it does look like it feels like a Panini one box kind of like it feels really official.
Yeah, and it's $50. I mean, it's nobody even thinks about spending $50 anymore, really.
Yeah, and I told that was kind of the point with Kevin on the Clearly Authentic is like we have that at $85. Like people that open cards like know that they're taking a risk, right? And like they're willing to risk $85 to potentially get a J Rod or a Juan Soto or a Mike Trout or whatever. And then if they get a $30 or $40 card, it's not that big of a pill to.
Look, I've taken. We lost Cody, but I'm gonna jump in there because
Sorry, I had a phone call coming in. My bad.
You're fine. You're fine. I personally have taken risks of $1,000 up in both the Texas Roadshow and the New York Roadshow, and I would much rather take a risk on $85 than $1,200. Thanks, Kevin. But
and Cody,
I don't blame you.
And Cody,
I don't think you've pulled a single good card from my shop yet.
He's not pulled a single good card from my shop either.
Hold on. Because Cody, remember when I opened I think I might have been the first guy to open in the VIP room in Texas.
You were. Oh, the Derrick Henry.
That Derrick Henry heater that will never leave my collection because it's a great card. But yeah, I mean, a risk.
My second pick in fantasy this year.
Your second pick?
Well, no, sorry. I have the second pick.
Okay. I was like, dude, if you're going to get him with your second pick, that's incredible. Yeah. And I want to play in your league. But but no, I mean, it's a great point. It's like, and here's something I'll go back to because I'm an old school hokey kind of corny collector, right? But people they always want to talk about the financial impact of a card or a product. What people don't apply value to that I still think they're missing out on is the technology, the photography, the memory appeal of a product. There's value there that doesn't always show up on eBay or on Golden. And I think stuff like what Jersey Fusion's doing and these lower end products that there's value to the photography selection, the foil, the design, like there's value there that I think needs to be.
Yeah. So to that point, I will say we had a guy come in yesterday and he opened like 6 boxes of Luminance. I mean, he's a regular customer, comes in almost every day, every other day probably. And he was just enamored with the design and everything of Luminance, which to be fair, Luminance has a really cool design this year. And it wasn't about he's like a true collector. Like he doesn't care about, I don't want to say he doesn't care about because I think in a sense everyone cares about pulling a big card, right? Like even true collectors aren't going to be like, oh man, I pulled a Trevor Lawrence 101, or whatever. But that's not the reason why he rips product. Like he rips product because he enjoys opening cards and he enjoys the design of cards. And I've never actually seen him sell anything. And I think he keeps everything and he has a nice display in his house, and that's what it's about for him, and not the bottom dollar. And it's really cool to see because honestly, before I open a card shop, just I don't know if it's pessimistic or just the view I had was that everyone was just all about money in the industry. And we have at least 2 guys off the top of my head that come in every week, once or twice, maybe 3 times a week, sit down, open $800 to $1,000 in cards, and just enjoy opening cards and collecting cards. And it's not about how much every card is worth, right?
I just got this text from he's a longtime friend, but he's a longtime sports designer, a decorated sports team designer. And he says, okay,
was it Kevin J. Raj?
No. It's somebody I've known even longer than that. But he said, okay, Luminance may be a top 10 product for me as a designer. That stuff looks so awesome. I go looks over rarity all day, like in hoops, give me all the revolution, all the status, anything like that. So anyway, that your point, that just came through this morning. And when a designer says that about a product, it's like, okay, then it really is good.
It also really has it's sort of like a Chronicles feeling without being like Chronicles, right?
Yeah.
Where all the base cards and everything are the same, but there's so many inserts. Like the first box that I watched open yesterday, there was like 7 or 8 different insert sets, and like right off the top of your head, you don't know what's rare, and then that'll come out what's rare over time. But they all looked great. There was one insert set where I was like, I don't like that one as much. They all looked awesome.
Are y'all in the same boat as me, where like a product like Luminance or a product like Soccer Finest Bundesliga, or to an extent Stadium Club Chrome, and when I say Stadium Club Chrome, I'm just talking about the photography, where products like that come out and you're like, we have the potential to make cards with awesome photography. We have the potential to make products with 10 different good-looking parallel and numbered cards in them, right? We have the ability in the design aspect in Luminance to make incredible-looking cards just based off the design. It's not really the photography, it's the design portion of it. And with Finest, it's the numbered and parallel part of it. And with Stadium Club Chrome, it's the photography part of it. But it's like there are so many high-end products that just don't have that. Or products $500 or more where it's like, and not to pick on Panini, but it's just one I saw, but like Panini Black. And it's just like a black matte finish with like a random photo shoot picture on it. And I'm going to
take that a step further.
We have so much potential. And I see that y'all do a good, like Panini does a great job on Luminance, but then like we'll turn around and have another product and it's like, what are we doing? Like we did such a good job here. Did we just mail it in on this product? Like what happened?
I will say, like, I think that I totally agree with that. And especially if you look at like, and again, we're not picking on Black for any specific reason other than it's in the background on mine as well. But for Black, right, like Panini sets themselves up for scrutiny by making a card that's entirely black. Like, every little bit of, and to a degree, like it stinks that they do it on products like Noir as well, where Noir has a lot of black edges, and that's supposed to be a high-end premium product. And it's like, when you look at it, like Cody said, right, take a product like Stadium Club, right, where if you take Stadium Club based on its photography alone, it's like, all right, this is awesome. That's a selling point for this product. But then, like, after watching a case busted yesterday, I don't know if I can tell people that I would recommend it at $200 a box, right? Like, there's the checks for it and the checks against it. And it's like, just imagine if Panini took, and they started to an extent, like with National Treasures, where now they have more action shots and they have, like there's more insert sets. But like, card companies need to get, like, if they get it all right on all fronts, like, you're just creating the perfect product.
Well, that's the thing too, right? Like, if they would have done Stadium Club Chrome and put it out at $100, or let's call it $150 a box,
or just added more color.
But that's what I'm saying. They put it in at $150 a box and they add color and numbered parallels to it. Like,
right. It would be an instant sellout.
Look,
and
like one of the most popular cards out there right now, right?
Yeah.
Is PMGs. They've been hot for years. They're continuously hot. Like, and it's not one of those things where like it was hot for 6 months and then it's phasing out, right? Like, they just continue to just keep going up and up and up with every auction. And dude, all it is a blank background with one picture in it, and that's it.
Right.
But like, it's a simple piece. It adds color. It adds like great design work, and it's just simple. And it's like one of the most popular products. Now, not to switch our attention, but I just saw this come up on the NFL Network. Tracy, did you realize that Russell Wilson just signed an extension?
7 years, baby. He's going to be there for 7 years.
So it looks like so the extension was for 5 years. I guess he already had a 2-year deal. So yeah. And the extension's 5 at $245. So I don't know what his 2-year deal is, but
Justin, you're gonna have to deal with this for a long time, brother. Justin, you were gonna say something a little bit on the topic of what we were discussing. I think.
So two things. One thing was one product I think they can do a lot more with is Legacy, because Legacy is usually one of the first football releases that features the new draft class. And it just, I ripped a couple cases of it, and it just feels really, every box feels really repetitive. But the one I was going to give huge props to, and you all know this, I loved 21-22 Donruss Elite Basketball. because of the colorful refractors there. I mean, I'm credited with pulling the 101 Steph Curry with the I think it's called the.
He's credited with it. You pulled it.
I pulled it.
What is this?
It's called a one-of-a-kind parallel, and it looks like
in the annals of history, it will be known that Justin pulled the Steph. It'll go down in the record books that Justin pulled the one-on-one.
That's such a funny thing to say about yourself, Justin. You're on camera in the backseat of a car pulling the damn thing. You're not credited with pulling it. You pulled it.
Right. Yeah. There's no speculation there.
Those cards are really pretty. Is what I'm saying.
No, and those are, but aren't those the ones that look kind of like PMGs, right?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, and then actually, and I don't know. We'll give Scott Prusa some credit. I don't know how much credit he actually does on like the design portion of it, but I actually have a card here that's very similar to a PMG that got pulled. This is a Father's Day pack, but it's a Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
My camera.
Oh,
and see how it's like.
Is that
gold?
Is that a chrome finish on
no,
that?
No, it's not. It's not a chrome finish, but
okay.
It's just like, dude, like this is a Father's Day pack card. Like,
what's the on that? I can't see the hollow.
It's gold and it's numbered to 10.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice card though.
Yeah, and it's just like, no offense to Scott Prusa because he puts in a ton of work on Father's Day and BIP stuff and all this stuff, but like, I would assume there's not near as much design time that goes into Father's Day packs as that go into Panini Black. That's the best example that I keep seeing. But it's just
we need to stop being on Panini Black though. Like
let's say Topps Chrome, right?
Yeah.
Like Topps Chrome, in my opinion, Topps has just said, all right, Topps Chrome's going to sell at this price point regardless of what we do. And now it's just like, in my opinion, Topps Chrome isn't what it was.
I mean, look at Spider-Man Metal, to your point, though. Spider-Man Metal is you're opening up an entire box praying for a PMG, and PMGs are falling 4 per case, like 3 or 4 per case, right? Like, if you don't get a PMG in your box, you're walking away with $20.
Yeah, so I will say,
and that's a $650 box.
That is a problem with how the price point that the product's at.
Correct.
Because I actually like the designs of like the other parallels, but they sell for like $10-15. Like it's
right.
Not like,
every single card in that set is beautiful. I watched somebody rip a case. I don't think there's a bad looking card in the set.
No, if those boxes were like $250,
300, like, even 300, right?
Product.
Like
yeah, it'd be a great product. Right. Totally.
And I think that's where it was designed to be at, though. Like, in the secondary market, just brings it up as they do with all the products.
Would you want to counter that with a product that's more affordable? And then it's like, okay, so say you make one like Elite where it's now down to like $250, $275.
Yeah.
But it's loaded. So there's like 4 or 5 of those PMG parallel looking ones per box. So say you had Spider-Man and then you had like different tiers of it. Do you think that would be a better option?
Well, they have, I mean, the option, like, it's weird because the Spider-Man Metal, they have high number and low number PMGs. So every character does have 2 PMGs, right? So it's like the high numbers are more rare, but I don't know. It's just, it's weird because I think that, like we said earlier, it's like so many products, so many card companies, they get these little things right a little bit at a time, but it's not all rolled together to make that one complete product, right? Because, like, look, we love Flawless, we love National Treasures, right? Those designs have the least going for them. They're just white, right? But like, that's what your high-end collector wants, like, or that's what Panini thinks that the high-end collector wants, right? And like, white corners mean hopefully easier to grade.
Can you imagine? Just walk down the street of imagination for a second.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if in Treasures, right, one box per case, and Panini loves to collate their stuff a certain way, which I would rather than not, but that's a topic for another day. Let's say you put it in a box that the case hit auto isn't in, right? And you create a 1 per case Chrome Treasures insert that's not thick, it's just a Chrome card. Maybe you put it in a seal or something, and you do like a I don't know what it would have to be numbered to, or even if it's not numbered or whatever, and just create like a special case hit product for that. So it's like in Panini's credit, like I think that's something that Panini blows tops out of the water on is their like rare parallels. And look, this is my theory. At the end of the day, and let's fast forward 10 to 20 years down the road, everyone's going to be about rare parallels. And I think they're actually going to be more about rare parallels than even autographs, because that's what happened in the 90s. That's what's happening in the early 2000s. That's what happens in the early 2010s is everyone's after the, like, there are Cal Ripken autos from the late 90s and early 2000s that you can go and scoop up for $100, right? That are numbered to like 20. But like, if you get into like rare baseball stuff, like credentials, numbered stuff, it's like thousands of dollars. Like, I think that at the core of collecting, people are more concerned about design and having cool looking cards than they are like having autographs, for example.
Now, do you think, Cody, and this is something that I sort of, as I'm looking and expanding my collection, right? Like, one of the things that I think of is, we know in today's day and age, right? Because we're living in it, right? Like, zebras are usually one per case, right? Like that
Sure.
kind of stuff. Do we wonder if down the line, like, people are still going to remember that, or people are still going to know that, or like, do you?
I mean,
think
they know it
further down
about
becomes-
90s inserts.
That's true. I mean, I always like my mindset has sort of shifted more.
I think
like,
the pop report.
I like numbered stuff.
I think the pop report will show it.
Fair, because then it's also, it seems like, and this is not a Topps or Panini exclusive thing, but like, both companies have really leaned heavily on the unnumbered parallels now, right? With like Stadium Club Chrome doing one pink, red, whatever wave per box.
So I think,
like this and
as
right?
an example, like on zebras, I'm not sure every zebra will hold value, but I think like the field level one will, right? And then obviously kabooms and color blasts are a little different. I think all kabooms and I think all color blasts will hold value, depending on the player, obviously. But
I'm kind of surprised that you haven't seen. I know they've done a multitude of them, but I'm kind of surprised you haven't seen more of those unnumbered, like rare inserts, because it's
right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's cost
with
effective.
how popular they are.
Well, that, and it's not an autograph or a memorabilia that's more expensive because you have to go acquire the autograph or the piece of memorabilia. It's just a design and a cool technology, and you might see more and more of that as we go. I mean, it makes
so like
sense.
as an example, like I think that that's something that Contenders is lacking, and I think that like people still love Contenders autos, right? But what I'm seeing more of is like people collect the autos and like will just buy them on the secondary market. They don't necessarily rip Contenders boxes, and I think part of that is like, you know, you'd have to rip a whole case to find the Trevor Lawrence or the Mac Jones or the Justin Fields or whoever. But like if there was something else that you could chase in Contenders, then it'd be great. But right now, as Contenders is like, if you're opening up a box, once you pull your on-card auto, like the box is done essentially. Like,
Right.
And then it's like, oh great, now I have to open 22 packs of Contenders base cards.
What do you wind up sleeving, like? And also, I will say that I just popped into my head to Cody's point, right? Is technically if somebody hits their on-card auto, right, they can sell the rest of the packs. And if unethical folks would be selling those as dead packs, right?
No, I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything good out of here yet.
Knowing darn well that there's nothing left in there, right? So if you're ever at a card show and see a random guy with just random packs of Contenders, like, probably don't buy them as a public service announcement to our AWLs. But I agree. Like, Contenders, Cody, you open a box of Contenders, how many cards are you sleeving and top loading? 6, maybe
One.
tops.
Me, one.
You won. Okay.
Maybe it's the on card. Justin, what about you? How many cards are you sleeving out of a box?
How many cards come in the box?
I don't know, man. It depends on what it is, because if
it's 24 packs.
If it's
I got one right.
Football or basketball, because like I PC different guys. So
no, it's 18. It's 18 times 6.
18 at
so
6.
108.
There's 108 cards. I'm sleeving at least 10 of them.
He's sleeving 100. He's sleeving 107 of them.
No shot. You're sleeving cards that are worth less than the sleeve.
He's not
Right.
sleeving. He's not sleeving Broncos, but everybody else.
Some of your takes are worth less than a pack of sleeves. Okay.
Me?
Wow.
That is true.
Wow.
One of
But
the
going
takes
back,
I'll say is now Russell Wilson's going to be the best quarterback in. Actually, no, because he's with Mahomes. Russell Wilson's going to be a second best quarterback in that division for
he's still going to be
the
the
next
best.
7 years.
He's going to be the best.
Well, I'm trying to be
Behind
unbiased
who?
here.
Behind who? Derek Carr.
I'm inviting all of you to the parade next year. I'm inviting all.
We're not. Look, that parade we're not a part of, and the Raiders aren't having a parade. There's a couple of specials going on in roadshow shops near you. So Cody is doing a UFC sale for the UFC Paris event that is Saturday day.
Yes.
Come into the Texas Roadshow shop. You might get to watch some UFC, but you will definitely get 10% off all UFC boxes and singles. Speaking of singles, Cody, I got some coming your way, bro.
Let's go.
And then across the country on the East Coast.
Across the pond.
Yeah. No, it's not across the pond. Almost. It's almost.
There might be a pond somewhere between here and Texas, though, that we cross.
Ponder too. Maybe not.
Aren't you on Pond? Aren't you on
Pondfield Road? Yeah.
Bingo. Kevin in New York there's also apparently a WWE pay-per-view that is across the pond.
It is.
Or a WWE event. And
WWE and UFC both.
They call it Premium Live Events. It's in Cardiff, Wales.
Yes,
super exciting.
It's a PLE, but in the New York Roadshow this weekend or on Saturday, you go and you get 10% off WWE boxes and singles. And Kevin, I don't have any WWE singles for you, but I would if I lived closer to you and you gave me more heads up to send you some singles.
Kevin, WWE's coming to Oakland in September.
Nice.
Time to play the game, and then Loop, California Roadshow Loop. Until you
California
get your shop
Roadshow, they're
open,
there.
you're on Loop. What's the general schedule for Loop breaking on the California Roadshow? Go.
10 to 2. Sorry, 2 to 10.
I'm sorry. Can you give it? We're all over America. Can you give us time zones? Can you give us days?
2 p.m. to 10
2
p.m.
Central, correct? Or
Pacific.
No,
Pacific, Central, Eastern. We got
2
all
to
time
10.
zones.
2 to 10
2 to 10
Pacific.
p.m.
Tuesday
through Saturday.
So there you go. Man, we went through a lot today. We really did. I don't envy
Can I
Ryan
enter the
90.
transfer portal?
No.
Come to Cali?
This is-
You want to come?
Yeah.
To Cali with us?
Join the Cali team.
That's the Roadshow Roundup. Thank guys. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Trey, I love you too, even though you're not here. But more importantly, the Roadshow loves all of y'all watching and listening. And we thank you. We love you. We'll see you. Boom.
Oh yeah.